I'm Nathan with Blue Oat, and I've got a really simple one today for knots, and that is the daisy chain. It's a pretty cool braid. It's really easy to make, and it's a great way to stow slings or ropes. Some people even use it for like electrical cords. Now I have these 1/4 inch, or they might be 5/16 Amsteel blue slings that I use for climbing, and they just help out with all kinds of little things that I might need while I'm up in the tree. But they're pretty long, and so they would get all tangled up on things if they were just hanging from my harness at full length. So what I do is I daisy chain them, and then I stow them on my harness, and they weigh almost nothing, but they're really strong. So I use them for all kinds of different safety enhancements in various situations. And so, you know, these slings are the same length. I turn it from that long of a thing into that compact of a thing. This is also really useful if you need to wash your ropes in a washer machine, like an agitatorless washer machine would be preferred, but you should daisy chain your ropes, even double them up and then daisy chain them, and then that really compacts them, keeps them from getting all tangled up. So how do you do the daisy chain? You just pick an end that you're going to start with, and for this sling, I like to start at the tail end rather than my eye spliced end. And you make a compact slip knot close to the tail. Okay, so you just make that slip knot. You pull your bite of your slip from the running end, I suppose. This would be the working end at first, but you're going to keep advancing down the rope, keep advancing, pulling from your running end. So we make an overhand, or we make a loop, then we pass a bite from the running end through, and you want to just kind of set it, and then you immediately take another bite and pass it into that bite, and then you hold on to that, take another bite and pass it into that bite, and you take another bite, and you just keep doing that. You just keep stuffing a bite, and once you start to get pretty good with it, it sort of flows better, and you can get faster at it. Now, once you get to the end, this is where it becomes preference for what you're doing. At this point, if I were to pull on this eye, it'll start releasing all of my slips, all of my little bites that are slipped into each other. Now, I don't want to do that, and I don't want that to happen accidentally when I have it hanging on my harness, so I lock it off. But I lock it off in such a way that I can also pull it with ease. So the way I lock it off is, since my sling has an eye in the end of it, I pass that eye over and I pull that last bite through, and now that locks it off. And now I can hang that on my harness, and it's not gonna elongate on itself. But when I want, I can just grab that little crossed over part right there, and it's just all out at once. Let's do this one in slow motion so you can see what's happening. Grab this, and if you don't make it super tight, it'll be a lot easier. I'm just gonna grab that, and then boom, you can see how it just starts pulling each and every bite through. All right, now let's talk about things that could go wrong when you're pulling your daisy chain, because I have noticed that in times past I'm working a rope, like especially like a really long rope, like a 60-meter rope, and I've daisy chained it. There's a lot of daisy chains, and when it comes out of the washer, it's time to undaisy chain it and coil it up and hang it to dry or whatever. Depending, if you forgot which side you started, you might run into a problem like this, where you undo that tuck and you think that you're gonna have it, and then you pull and it locks. and then you try to do it again, and it locks again. So if you do that a couple times and it's not working, then I found a trick. First of all, I'm trying to reverse this daisy chain from the wrong way. I started it from here and worked all the way down to this side, so what I should be doing is pulling it from this side. But I can get it to release from this side after I pull it through a couple times. I pull a couple tucks and they don't work. I'm going to start to pull this one through, and rather than pulling it all the way through and trying again, I'm going to reach in through here and grab it right there and kind of invert it, and then it goes. It's kind of like magic. I don't know exactly how it works, but it does. And then because I went from the wrong side, I still end up with a knot at the end, at the very end. So you just have to kind of undo that a couple times more. But if you're in the, if you've got a really long rope and you forgot which way you pulled from, you can still get it to come undone. All right, so that's the daisy chain. Very simple. And yeah, hope that helps.